The tax payable under the provision of subsection 3 and 4, Section 5 of the Integrated Goods Service Tax Act reverse charge of IGST. Whether the person who is applying for ITC, either he should have been received only goods or only services, or both goods and services, he can get the benefit of ITC. No ITC will be allowed if depreciation has been claimed on tax component of capital goods. Warm welcome to 5th Sem BComs. In the subject we're discussing goods and services tax. In our previous concept, we have discussed about registration and its procedure under GST Council, whatever we have, and the registered person and unregistered person. And in today's session, we're going to learn about input tax credit for registered person. I'm Professor Rajesh L.R. from Department of Commerce and Management from Vidhyaashram First Grade College Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. The agenda is very simple. The meaning of ITC, who are eligible and what are the conditions are there for ITC, manner of distribution of credit by IS distributor, that is nothing but input service distributor, that is nothing but from the head office to its branches. Utilization of ITC, ITC availment, utilization, revised model GST and input tax credit concept with the problems. First we have a meaning. Input tax means tax paid on inward supply. Inward is nothing but at the time of purchase we have paid the tax. Now, at the time of sales, we collect the tax. Whatever the amount of tax we have collected, from that, whatever the tax has been paid at the time of purchases, that can be deducted. And the remaining amount, the difference amount, should be paid to the government. That is the benefit of input tax. The amount what we are going to collect at the time of sales, from that, we are going to deduct the amount of tax already paid at the time of purchase. At the time of purchase, that amount, whatever the difference we are getting, that we pay to the government. For example, I have collected here at the time of sales 10,000. I have paid here 6,000 at the time of purchase. So remaining only 4,000 I'll pay to the government. Assume that I am collecting 10,000 here and already I have paid 12,000 here. So here we have minus 2,000. This 2,000 will be carried for next concept or next month here. According to Section 2, Subclause 62, CGST Act defines input tax as follows. Input tax in relation to a registered person, the registered business person can get the benefit, means central tax, state tax, integrated tax or unitary tax charged on any supply of goods or services are both made to him, and includes the integrated goods and service tax charged on import of goods, the tax payable under the provisions of subsection 3 and 4 of section 9 under reverse charge of CGST. If you have paid the tax at the time of purchase, that is nothing but inward supply for goods or services, that benefit can be claimed on the basis of reverse charge as per the CGST. What we have here, 2017 council discussions and the information, whatever the council has made, and further benefits has been given to the business entrepreneurs. The tax payable under the provision of subsection 3 and 4, Section 5 of the Integrated Goods Service Tax Act reverse charge of IGST. That was CGST and this is IGST. If you have paid input tax, that is at the time of inward supply, so that can be get benefited from the IGST. The tax payable under provisions of subsection 3(4) of section 9 of the respective state goods service tax reverse charge of SGST. They are saying that the same concept what we have here in the central, in the IGST and the SGST, UTGST, in all the four concepts, whatever the inward tax we have paid, that benefit can be taken from the outward supply tax. If any difference are there, that should be paid to the government and not where the entire tax what you are collecting from the consumer should be paid to the government. Only the part of the difference amount, because already we have paid the tax to the government, the benefit should be taken by the customers. Only registered person eligible. Who are eligible? Only registered person according to GST Council 2017 as per section 16 subclause 1. He should be in possession of tax invoice or debit note or such other tax paying documents as may be prescribed. They're saying that the first most document he should have tax invoice or he should have a debit note with him. If he doesn't have tax invoice or debit note, any supporting documents related to the GST reverse charge, he is not eligible to claim any ITC as per section 16. He should have received the goods or services or both. Whether the person who is applying for ITC, either he should have been received only goods or only services or both goods and services, he can get the benefit of ITC. The supplier should have actually paid the tax charged in respect of the supply to the government. They're saying that one, if the supplier has paid the tax to the government, then you can claim for the benefit. If the supplier has not paid the tax, you're not eligible to claim any benefit of ITC. He should have furnished the return under section 39. Means the GST return should be followed as per the section 39 to claim the ITC. As per the GST Council under section 39, if he has followed all the instructions, when to file the returns and what are the documents has to be submitted and what terms and conditions are there, if he has fulfilled all the things according to section 39, then he is eligible to claim ITC under section 16. Next we have, when goods are received in installments, ITC can be claimed only when the last lot is received. They're saying that one, if we are receiving goods in 4 installments, first, second and third and fourth, every installment cannot be given ITC benefit here. After receiving the 4th and final installment, I can claim for the ITC, not for all the partition, that is first installment, second and third and fourth. The ITC will be given only on total, not on the breakup concepts. No ITC will be allowed if depreciation has been claimed on tax component of capital goods. They're saying that one, if you have already applied under income tax and other tax concept, the depreciation on the capital goods, then you are not eligible to claim ITC, input tax credit here. Where the goods against an invoice are received in lots or installment, the registered person shall be entitled to take credit upon receipt of the last or installment. They're saying that one, I can take the benefit only if I receive the tax invoice or other documents which are related to the installment procedure, first, second and third and fourth and the final installment. At that time, I can claim the ITC. The payment should have been made within 180 days from the date of issue of invoice. They're saying that one, from the date of issue of invoice, if I have paid that one within 180, that is 6 months, then I am eligible to claim ITC. If I paid after 6 months, so there is no concept of getting benefit of ITC for either you are a registered person or not. If you have paid tax or not, already have exceeded the number of days as per the GST Act. The input service distributor means an office of the supplier of goods or services or both. Means where we have head office and 4 or 5 branches are there. The main head office is going to pay for all. We have here head office and branch 1, branch 2, branch 3, branch 4. The head office is taking care of all the 4, including head office place and remaining place 1, place 2, place 3, place 4. Total 5 places GST. Total 5 places GST will be paid by head office, and that amount, whatever they paid in total, that will be distributed to branch 1, branch 2, branch 3, branch 4, including head office, based on their turnover. The formula is very simple here. GST divided by total turnover into branch turnover. There's a formula. So whatever the GST we have paid here, that will be divided by total turnover into branch turnover. Whatever it is there, that will be distributed for individual branches. It receives tax invoice issued towards receipt of input services or such other document as prescribed for the purpose of distributing the credit of CGST and SGST. If tax invoices are received in such a way, and that should be used at the time of distributing any taxes to certain branches, either whether it is intra-transaction or inter-transaction. Based on that, if it is intra, INTRA, then it will be CGST, SGST. If it is inter, then it will be IGST. So based on the intra or inter transaction and with the document available, so based on that, it is going to distribute the GST to all its branches, including to the head office. Based on that, it can claim the ITC. Manner of distribution of credit by input. Input service distributor means, as already we have said that one, that it receives tax invoice issued towards receipt of input for both. Based on that, it is going to distribute the credit. Such office distributes credit of ITC for input of services among supplier having same PAN number. If they have the same PAN number, permanent account number, issued by tax department for the purpose of tax process, if they have the same PAN number, then they can claim the ITC. The said office issues invoice distribution of the credit of ITC. The credit of ITC will be distributed according to the turnover to the concerned branches. Utilization of ITC under section 49. GST is a dual concept system composed of two rates, CGST, SGST. On every transaction within state, CGST collected will go to the central, SGST collected will go to the state in which the sale is made. Whenever a sale is made within Union Territory, UTGST is applied in place of SGST. In case of interstate transaction, IGST is applicable. They're saying that one, whatever the GST we are going to collect, in this one we have a dual concept. The first one is if it is intra-state, then CGST, SGST. If it is intra-Union Territory, then CGST, UTGST. If it is inter, then IGST. This is the concept what we have here. So now this is what utilization of ITC. So based on this, the ITC will be distributed based on intrastate, intra, Union Territory or inter. So that is what we are going to call it is a dual concept system. The amount collected by the CGST will go to central government. This is for state government, central government, Union Territory, and the entire IGST will go to central government only. Now, utilization of ITC based on revised model GST law. CGST, the credit of CGST to be utilized sequentially. First one, if I have negative concept here, that will be adjusted only with CGST positive or with IGST. It cannot be adjusted with SGST. In the same manner, SGST, if we have any excess amount or negative balance are there, so then that can be adjusted with the SGST positive balance, or it should be adjusted with the IGST and not with the CGST. But IGST, the first benefit will be given for IGST only, and this can be made with CGST or SGST. The first preference for IGST, second for CGST, and third for SGST. The amount can be set off with CGST and SGST for IGST. But amount can be set off here CGST with IGST, that's all. SGST with IGST, that's all. IGST can have both CGST and SGST, but based on the preferences, it will be done. So, while solving the problem, I'll just show you that one. What is this set off or utilization they are making? We couldn't get them exactly. While solving that problem, we are going to have a simple concept. I'll just tell you here. The CGST we have here, like column SGST, IGST. Now, we got here 20,000 negative balance here, 30,000 we have, and 40,000 amount of we got here. The negative balance, whatever we got here, we are going to set off this 20,000 with IGST. So now the GST payable will be nil. Here it will be 30,000 and here it will be 20,000. 20,000 has been adjusted here. This is called utilization of CGST with IGST. The same way SGST with IGST or IGST with CGST if anything remains with the SGST. This is the concept what we have, utilization of ITC under dual model with the new concept. Now, we have taken a small problem here. Compute GST payable from the following data. Say the input tax, output tax we have here. Input tax is 7,500, 7,500, 90,000. Output is 69. So, here in this problem, the IGST collection is nil here and we are paid 90,000. So, we are getting negative 90,000 here. CGST, we have collected 69,000, but we are paid 7,500. Still, we have to pay 6,100. The same case in state government also. The IGST negative balance, whatever we got here, that can be set off with CGST and SGST. The first preference for CGST here, out of 90,000, the first preference they are given here minus 61,500 with CGST. This can be set off. So 61,500 we have set off here. Still we have here 28,500. This 28,500 will be set off with SGST. So this is going to be nil here. So 90,000 here, 61,500 with CGST, SGST 28. So net GST payable will be in the IGST nil, CGST nil, SGST 33,000. So whether what we have done is right or wrong means whether the 33,000 answer what we got, whether it is right or wrong. See here, add these two. So it will be 1,38,000 minus how much we have here? 90,000, 7,500 and 7,500. 97,500 and 1,05,000. So what is the remaining here? 33,000. It should be the same. Whatever the amount collected and whatever the amount paid, total amount, get the difference here. The difference should be equal to net GST payment. This is a cross verification whether we have done right or wrong. In the second case, see here, the purchase of input for rupees 11,50,000 plus GST 18%. So for individual transaction that are given here, we have to identify that what is the GST is payable by the person, whether he is going to get input tax credit benefit or not. Say, I have purchased input with GST at 18%. The value of the goods was 11,50,000. The ITC, input tax paid, was 2,07,000. The entire amount is eligible to claim 2,07,000 benefit. At the time of purchasing the capital goods, I paid 28% tax on 30 lakhs, 8,40,000. The entire 8,40,000 I am eligible to claim ITC. Audit services, 1,75,000. I have paid 21,000. It is eligible. Health insurance. So here, health insurance service for employees. So here, the company is giving benefit for their employees. So whatever the tax they are paid here, this cannot be claimed as ITC. Only if it is in the further business, then ITC can be claimed here. If it is not for the further business, only for the benefit of the employer or employee, that tax, whatever they paid, that cannot be claimed for ITC. Market research service, 75,000, where I paid tax 9,000. This can be claimed because for further business promotion or any other activities, they have paid the tax here. For that, they'll get the benefit here. The total ITC available, 10,77,000, excluding health insurance services. So in this problem, we have to just write here whether I'm eligible to claim the input tax credit or not. So in the first case, I'm eligible. Second case, I'm eligible because we are going to sell that commodities. We are going to use the benefit of capital goods. Audit services, it is for the business to verify and to submit the records to the GST or to any other government sectors. Health insurance service, this is especially for the employees' sake and for the taking care of the employees. So that cannot be considered for the ITC. And market research, this can be claimed for benefits. Next we have here input tax credit. Under section 2 subclause 63, input tax credit means the credit of input tax, means the benefit how we can claim from the part whatever we have paid at the time of purchase. That's all. Inward supply, output tax, input tax. Already said that one. Inward supply is nothing but at the time of purchase. Outward supply means at the time of sales. Input tax and output tax. Input tax means tax on purchase, out means tax on sales. Those concepts are explained here in the same concept and it should be on the reverse charge basis. Problem on goods and services, use it for business. Well, the same concept. Now again we'll just see that one. For which transaction we are not eligible to claim the ITC. We have purchased the inputs, raw materials. So we are paying the 8 lakh, 96,000 is tax. So I'm eligible for 96. So this will be used for in the further business. Purchase of truck, 28%, value 24 lakh, 6 lakh 72. The truck will be used especially for businesses to deliver the goods and to get the raw materials or for any other purpose of business only. So it is eligible. Purchased shoe and gloves for employees as mandatory to safeguard, and that will be used here in the business. Now, whether it is eligible, yes, it is eligible. It is used in the further business activities for the protection of employees as well as for the raw materials and even for the machineries or capital goods. Purchased a gift hamper. Already we are saying gift hamper is for employees. So here I'm not going to get any benefit. We are not going to get any benefit here. Audit service will get benefit. Outdoor catering, the food means the food has been given, served for the employees on certain occasion and they paid the bill. Catering services bill they are paid and they paid the tax by the employer. That cannot be claimed for the further as a further business activities. Is only the entertainment part here and not for the business purpose. The next concept what we have here, ISD or ITC, we are going to check now. The first problem we have taken here on ITC. ABC company purchased a truck for 28 lakhs, paid GST 28% for transportation of input in the factory. The goods is truck here, cost price is 28 lakhs and it is 28%. So 7 lakh 84,000, the entire amount is eligible for input tax credit. So you can claim whatever the tax has been paid here at the time of output taxes. So in the upcoming session, we are going to check and solve other problems related to ISD as well as ITC. Thank you to all 5th Sem BCom students. In the next upcoming session, we are going to solve input tax credit problems which are important for examination and for your future purpose. Thank you once again to all my dear students.